Welcome, friends. This is Archangel. You know, it's curious, although non-surprising, the things that make sense to me since my awakening. I have changed eyeglass prescriptions from gynocentric to awakened and liberated, and the juxtaposition from propaganda and fairy tale to reality and truth is such a sharp contrast that only people who don the red pill glasses would understand. When you finally awaken to male disposability and understand it for the unjust reality that it truly is, things suddenly make sense. It's funny how everybody likes to render female beliefs, motivations, and thoughts as unknowable enigmas that the inferior man-apes can only scratch their protruding foreheads over. Males try to function within the matrix, within the fallacy of romance. Males try to assign some semblance of resolution to malevolent female behavior. Oh, females hurt us because of X, Y, and Z. They don't want to do us wrong, as they have throughout the centuries. They simply had no choice. Oh, the poor angels. It must have been hard to ride the wave of entitlement made possible by male utility and protection and provision for so many years. Yet when you reject the lies, wrapped with shiny bows, female motivations are not enigma. They are as plain and as clear as the summer sky, and female actions are as predictable as Murphy's Law. Females are not some mysterious secret of the heavens. They are, in fact, simple creatures. Males are the complicated ones, and when you understand the gynocentric tendencies of all humans, everything suddenly comes into sharp focus. When you understand that we see males as shovels, rather than actual people with value and hopes and dreams, when you realize we see males as disposable Kleenexes and female bodyguards, then a few enigmas hitherto opaque now begin to make sense. When you awaken, things make sense. Like the frequency we hear it repeated that females love a man in uniform. The blue pill spectacled individual would assume that this has something to do with actual physical appeal, yet the red pill spectacles render transparent the reason. Because a male in uniform signals utility. The uniform represents males serving, whether it be a fireman, a police officer, a soldier. It signals males will put their personal reservations of life and limb on the line for the general female populace. And so, of course, females fancy males that would die for them, and so they love it when males communicate their servitude by wearing uniforms. That is like a giant neon sign saying, "I am available at your discretion, Highness." The same could be said of males in slacks and shirts and ties, or business suits. It signals ambition and a desire to achieve or pursue even more financial wherewithal, and that communicates ambition, resources, and provision. Material assets just waiting to be plucked away by females from these shovels in business suits. So when you switch from blue to red lenses in your shades, you see the real reasoning behind the saying of females love a man in uniform, and why such a euphemism is really so ubiquitous as it is. When you put on your dress blues, no, your caveman jaw and vulgar protruding forehead are not suddenly made handsome. Males are still disgusting, offensive, odorous apes. But females do like your advertisements of utility. They do love that they can utilize you. That is what is attractive to them, your utility. Whether you wear a janitor's uniform or military dress. When you finally put on the red glasses, the unexplainable is rendered bare. Like the oft-touted female desire towards a male that can make her laugh. Why is this? Because males must do in order to be visible on the female radar, and thus receive acknowledgement. Males that can perform humor are providing a service to females. It is male utility harnessed for female benefit. Males that can make females laugh garner attention, while males just standing there looking pretty are of no particular use to female advancement. We are meant to be clowns, supposed to be court jesters, sequestered to berate ourselves, disparage our dignity, and mock our anatomy for the amusement of the princesses perched atop their marbled thrones. So it would be obvious that females desire funny males, because laughing is fun, especially when the laughter comes at the expense of self-mockery of the other party, which strokes the ego of entitled princesses. So females like to advertise for this trait because it is males serving, doing something for females. So, for one, laughing is enjoyable and entertaining. And B, males trying to make females laugh essentially communicates a deeper meaning to females. It says, "Hi, I am a compliant male with gynocentric tendencies, and you may use me for laughs or other ends such as protection and provision. I am malleable to your whims." And if a guy isn't funny, well, then he better have a fat wallet or dig a mean ditch if he wants any female attention. What about male aesthetic considerations? Male looks? Yeah, what about them? Well, this is why females always say looks are not that important. Not because females are enlightened and benevolent and above the petty superficiality obsession of males and looks, but because his looks do not open her doors, or paint her house, or die protecting her. So when it comes to mate selection, females are fairly honest. Looks do not matter as much as they do to males. Understanding male utility, that males are shovels, also explains the idiom, "chicks dig scars." Why? Well, again, it signals movement, action, utility. It says, he does things, he takes chances, and has spirit to carry on after injury. And thus chances are he will be productive and make an adequate provider. It isn't really that females become physically aroused and moist between the legs at the deformed scar tissue covering the former injury. Rather, the scar is a signal that he is active, makes decisions, takes chances, and keeps on going after getting burned. Isn't this why females defer to so-called alpha males? Because they take charge and do? They get out, assert, and accomplish. They do, which is half of what females want from males. Labor, which leads to provision. Scars also address the other required concession females demand of males: protection. Scars suggest that males are familiar with injury, and it conjures images of males in battle, locked in chivalrous protection of the female herd. Scars hint that males will place themselves in harm's way to protect the tender, fragile, and incidentally, superior womanfolk. Scars are like scratched paint or the dented fender of an old work truck, which are proud badges, brandings of servitude. Also, we like our work trucks to be eyesores, with a few dents and dings, so they will have less opportunity of infidelity. And the more scratches or dents and dings that males have, the less curb appeal they have, which females hope translates into less opportunity of male philandering. You're my shovel. I don't want you serving any other female. Thus, the less attractive, the better, within tolerance, of course. Males as utilities, males being shovels, also explains our obsession with male appearance. Why are people so obsessed with male appearance? Why do we shame males into flannel and baggy swim trunks? Why are people so crazy obsessed with male hair length? Why are males discouraged from cosmetic expression and compelled into monotony and plainness of appearance? Meanwhile, females get to modify and misrepresent their physical structure with artificial color and all manner of augmentation. We need to break male spirit to no greater ambition than simple conformity, and we need to market them as the shovels that they are. Moreover, we need to know, with a quick glance, who is a shovel and who is a goddess, in the event that we need an emergency sidewalk sweep, or we are planning triage and lifeboat seating arrangements. Conformity of male appearance is similar to males in uniform. It signals male acquiescence to instruction, which signals utility. We require easily identifiable worker drones, whereas females are allowed to be walking kaleidoscopes of color, which also differentiates them as non-disposables. We want our shovels to look like shovels. Are you going to dress up a broom or pretty up a rake? Heck no, but you would definitely bestow adornments upon statues of Venus. We shame, even force males into assuming plain, aesthetic appearance. That way, they can be easily identified by citizenry young and old alike as male, and thus as tools to be utilized when needed. Moreover, when males conform to appearance standards, that also demonstrates their ability to follow instructions and do as they are commanded. We like shovels that do as they are told, with no lip. I've always wondered why males, especially elder males, have had such obsessive conniptions over male hair length. When I was younger, I failed to understand the crazy, froth-at-the-mouth fervor mature males expressed regarding the hair length or sagging pants of junior males, or the earrings or piercings or tattoos, or any other non-approved aesthetic liberties. Why are guys the first to point out any other males whose hair length has surpassed a half an inch in length? I think it is a matter of misery loves company. Hey, I'm a utility, and you are too. Now look like one. Why was there such a fervor over hippies? The slave males of gynocentric agenda were jealous of the freedom exhibited by the younger generation males, and so tried to shame them into servitude right along with all the other slaves whose spirit and free will has been broken by the vaginisty. No fair. I'm a tool, and easily identified as such, with my shirt tucked into my trousers and my crew cut. But you're a tool also. So get a haircut, a real job, and grow up. That's right. Sign your life away to an entitled female and a dozen hungry mouths. Then feed the tax machine like the rest of us plain, boring shovels. Utility, males being shovels, also explains my trepidation around females. I've always had this knee-jerk reaction to females who act nice or happy to see me. You know, it's a curious thing I've noticed intermittently during my life. I experienced this just the other night, as I was leaving work and a female who I rarely engage made a point to say, "Bye," as I was trying to slip out the door, and my only thought as I walked to the car was, I wonder what she wants. I've always had this uneasy feeling regarding females who engage me off the clock. Off the clock meaning waitresses, tellers, sales ladies, or customer service ranks are paid to be artificially nice and cheery to everyone, including males. Yet when a female attempts artificial pleasantries off the clock, then my hackles raise, and I find myself playing mental jeopardy, trying to ascertain what exactly they want from me. They want something. Money, attention, a grocery carrier, what? When I was a white knight, a mangina, I totally disabled this protective response and twisted its warnings into positive omens. Oh, she's being fake nice because it means she likes me. She wants me. Oh, she cannot live without me. It wasn't ego, it was wishful thinking on my part. Most males still do this. They interpret female fakeness as an invitation to solicit affection, rather than a warning to back away, retreat from the smiling black widow. As I began to awaken to the reality of male devaluation and disposability, I paid more attention to this internal warning system. Then, as I finally wrapped my head around male utility and expendability, it clicked. Males are utilities to be capitalized upon by females. So, yes, females do want something from you with their fake smile and premeditative fluttering eyelashes. Females are not simply bright and cheery to males because they care about brightening your day with a genuine smile or a heartfelt compliment, but rather she desires something from you, the shovel, even if it is merely ego-boosting attention in the form of gratuitous flirtation. I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you, gentlemen, but learn this well. When females are nice to males, there are ulterior motives. Because otherwise, she'd have nothing to do with this gaggle of disgusting, deviant murderers and rapists. Sweet, cheery faces simply conceal true intentions of gimme, 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 you nasty, hairy, sweating, grunting baboon. So this odd reaction to female pleasantries was my internal warning system chiming in response to hostile insincerity, much like the cheeseball sensor goes off in the presence of pickup lines. I think males have this trepidation around females whether they are aware of it or not, and this is in place for good reason. Because males are abused utilities, subjugated in this world to give and give again, then give some more, and when you're done with that, how about you get off your lazy ass and give some more, like a real man? Considering a male's role as societal utility, there really is only one question males can ask themselves about a friendly female in close proximity. What does she want? How much money does she need? Does she need her lawn mowed or her car fixed? Maybe she wants protection. Maybe she wants to be told how hot and desirable she is. Maybe she wants ego stroking, or she has some heavy lifting she needs done. Furniture doesn't move itself. Perhaps she's hungry or wants me to throw my coat over a threatening puddle. Perhaps there is a door that needs opening, or she has an emergency with a stubborn lid on a jelly jar. Maybe she needs a cell phone upgrade or would like me to spare her the consequences when she mouths off to the wrong person. Utility also explains another urge some males get, which is the urge to back away when a female starts getting too close to their person or their emotions. If males would pay attention, this proximity warning is quite advantageous, and they can learn to trust the warning bells that signal predation. Males can sense danger in the form of a leech trying to siphon money, provision, and protection from them. We slander males as immature and reluctant to commit because they are driven by their promiscuous natures and succumb to their natural tendencies to simply be walking dildos, too juvenile to settle down to their rightful place as disposable shovels. The males can't commit theme is simply a shaming tactic to compel males to grow up and embrace female servitude. Males get this instinctual urge to back away from rapidly advancing females as a defense mechanism, warning of impending utility usurpation. I get annoyed when females enter my personal space, and I blatantly back away from them. To their confusion, they assume that I should be tickled as a tornado in a trailer park that a female would even grace me with her magnificence in such close proximity to my disgusting knuckle-dragging self. Females push commitments with males not because they love you or value you as a unique snowflake that they will dedicate their devotion to, but rather they are assessing options. Okay, either he will man up and acquiesce to ultimatums, thus pledging his utility, service, labor, and protection to me, or I need to move on and find somebody who will. And this is exactly what happens. Either the male folds under duress or she moves on. You've seen it a million times. Marry me or get lost. If it was true love and she couldn't breathe without him, how does she find it fathomable to eventually dump her beloved soulmate in favor of some other dude who will agree to sign documents of incorporation? I have always observed this facet of male intuition, the tendency to back away from females advancing into physical or lifestyle proximity. You know what I'm talking about. You go out on a couple dates and she's talking exclusivity and getting a car together. Most males have bound and gagged this warning system, much like they have transmuted their survival instincts into placing themselves in harm's way for female welfare. But then society needs males to commit to female privilege and maintenance. We enact a female chain of custody so that a male is always supporting a female, whether it be the male that fathered her or the male that takes over for the father via marriage or the male-funded state that picks up the slack in between husbands or boyfriends. The asking of a man to have his daughter's hand in marriage is simply a ceremony of stewardship, a changing of the guards as one steward steps down and a new meal ticket steps up. And in the absence of individual males, the state is the steward of female interests and will carry females and not allow them to go homeless or without provision as they do males. It makes sense that the state encourages male commitment, because if individual males do not carry females via marriage, that's more strain on the government and its resources, meaning less male tax dollars to be squandered by the elite players of the largest alpha on the block, the government. We want males to commit, and commit as quickly as possible to any female. Doesn't matter. Take your pick. Find a female, ejaculate inside her, then support, protect, and provide. Don't think, just do. And once you're legally incorporated with the female, you are stuck carrying dead weight long past the dissolution of the incorporation via female enriching entitlements of divorce and property division, alimony, child support, etc. And the state orders these provisions so the individual male has to continue carrying the female. Hence, that particular female will require less assistance from the government checkbook, because remember, the government and individual males are opponents competing for female attention and approval. We exist in this society where females and the state encourage hasty commitment of male financial stewardship to females, and females invading male space or moving too fast is a symptom of this agenda. So females walking right up and getting 4 inches from your face, confident her feminine wiles or charm or pheromones will work their magic on you, is day 1. Day 2, she is calling you her boyfriend and talking apartments and pets. Day 3 is basically planning this seating at the wedding reception. However, males have the beauty of a warning system that signals infiltration of threat, which is this urge to back away from females that leverage themselves into our space and lives. It's ironic that males get saddled with slander of philanderers and champions of promiscuity, while we paint females as beacons of fidelity and loyalty. This is outright lie, propagandized diversion away from reality. Females are hypergamous by nature. This means females use males as stepping stones upward. They will grace a male with their presence until such time as a better gravy train comes along. There is no monogamy or loyalty to any single divine, heavenly authored soulmate. No, female loyalty extends to themselves and getting ahead upon the backs of the doormats that provide, protect, and maintain their elevated entitlements as individual vessels of the divine feminine. Females are not monogamous but rather romantic opportunists by nature, peddling fantasies of love to attain their ambitions of material sustenance and mortal protection. Yet, like every other unsightly truism of female programming, we take the dirty laundry of the divine goddess sex and project it onto the shovels. Truth is, females are polyamorous. When they push commitment, it is commitment of resource, and your total commitment to provide said resource. Females do not want a male's heart or tender feelings. It's about money, labor, and protection. Females can move super fast and be ultra seductive to secure this arrangement of provision, and males have a warning sensor in the form of ambiguous apprehension when females try to get too close and insert themselves into your business. Pay attention to this. Male utility also explains males and the historic stoicism thrust upon them. When males infantilize females, this necessarily calls into fruition male disposability, because when you take responsibility for survival out of the hands of half the species, then the other half must pick up the slack and care for, provide for, and protect these delicate flower petals. When you exist in a culture of male disposability, where male life is worth less than female life, you elevate female life to the status of worship, and thus you get males who compete for the attention from these infantilized superior goddesses, hoping that one of these feminine deities will vaginally accept a particular male's genetic legacy. When males compete for female attention and approval, cunning is an asset, emotion is a liability. When males are made to compete for females, a poker face is a strength, emotionality is a weakness. Never let the enemy see you cry. Hold it in and plan the next sortie. Hence, male utility explains why males have been made to be emotional trash compactors that swallow pain and hurt and compact it somewhere, anywhere. We don't care, just stuff it away and deal with it on your own time. Okay. So, for one, you are underlings competing for attention from females, and in order to compete effectively, you need to exhibit strength, assertiveness, and the capacity for labor if you hope to curry the favor of any female. So, stuff the tears and put on a stiff upper lip in order to compete with every other male vying for validation from the angelic sex. And 2, your shovels. For heck's sake, we don't want our shovels crying or expressing inner pain. Dig your hole, then be thrown away when you break. That's your existence. Nowhere in that agenda does it say we have time or even care about the emotional suffering of our brooms or rakes. All are disposable tools. Also, we train boys not to cry. Thus, by the time they reach adulthood, the stoicism is well entrenched because boys are mini shovels, not puppy dogs deserving of empathy. So, we want males to hide their pain and emotion, lest we be reminded that these shovels actually have feelings, and we hurt them every second of every minute of every day. Realizing males have tender feelings and our gynocentrism hurts them might trigger a kind of uncomfortable response within people towards these rakes and brooms. Compassion. And if we afford males compassion, this can only lead to affording them rights, which will reduce female entitlement. And then who's going to dig the ditches? If we witness shovels crying because they are being reduced to shovels, we might momentarily rethink our treatment of males as shovels, and that would lead to a horrible place. Equality, not female superiority, supremacy, or privileged entitlement. Nope, we need male labor and sacrifice to continue pampering Gaia, our divine feminine. So we do not want to see male emotion or deal with the injustice or morality of treating males as disposable Kleenexes. We do not want to hear of male suffering, so suck it up, man up, and check your male privilege. Do you have a Y chromosome? Then yeah, you're an expendable tool. Boo freaking who. Get over it, Nancy boy. Think of the poor, destitute women folk. After all, there might be a female somewhere right now on the verge of tears because she can't get cell reception. Think of her pain and suffering. Male utility, males as shovels, also explains odd couple pairings. Why you see a superficially attractive female with a seemingly ugly male. Then again, all males are ugly, aesthetic killjoys compared to females. We're all Shreks and ogres and gargoyles that stink and have pitiful little noodles between our legs that run our life, right? Yet many a naive sheeple will see a pretty female with a not-so-pretty dude trailing her and question this. However, never fear. Male utility explains all social enigma, including this one. It's because she doesn't care what her shovel looks like. He is there to labor on her behalf. He is not being sequestered to be a piece of art or a decorative centerpiece on the table. He is not a beautiful ornament on a tree. Nope, he's the scratched and dented rake. Males are the old rusty pliers and the feces-encrusted plungers. Males are practicalities to female needs, not decorative decor. If females wanted to look at anything pretty, they would look at other females. Perhaps this is a significant causal factor behind the phenomena that nearly every other female seems to be bisexual or has bisexual sympathies nowadays. Females look to females for aesthetic sexual excitation, and they look to males to snake the clogged pipes. Ugly males are there to do for females, and making a girl's loins moist does not pay the bills or fix the car or move the furniture or fix the leak in the roof. Females simply assess a particular male's portfolio, and looks play no part in this consideration. What he has and what he has the potential to affect, that is what decides if he is worth her time. Does he match her set price, the market value she is placed upon giving her attention? So either he is a shovel or he is an ATM to pay other shovels to come and dig the pool for her. Either way, he is a utility of some sort, and utilities' looks really do not matter one iota. Only the work they dole out to feminine kind carries any value at all. In light of this, inevitably some very unsightly males are going to be chosen by females because of their superior material means, not their looks. And males do understand this on some level, which is why many males concentrate more on monetary enrichment rather than looks as a female wooing strategy. Males know female nature, and this knowledge is demonstrated by males themselves who understand that money attracts women much more effectively than big muscles or band boy looks. Money is the ultimate utility. Male utility, males as shovels, also explains cosmetics. I mean, why did they become commonplace to the point where they are a staple of standard female appearance? Well, that's easy, silly monkey. We decorate our deities, not the peasants who worship them. Because males are utilities of the disposable kind, because male life is worth less than female life, because females are infantilized and propped up upon the blood and sacrifice of males beneath their feet. Thus, males clamor and compete for female approval, and females simply sit back and choose whoever tickles their fancy. Yet even though we have elevated females to goddess status, we do not want to be reminded of their mortal flaws. So cosmetic painting of one's face or person with artificial color is a way to worship the feminine through petroleum-based finger paints. Moreover, it is a way to hide genetic weakness, like thin lips or uneven, imperfect skin surface or tone. Females have simply to attract male utility, and they want to look as unique and appealing as possible to solicit the most abundant and productive examples of those grunting male baboons. Thus, the better, more goddess-like you advertise yourself as, the more and better quality choices of well-provisioned males will clamor for your approval, which translates into pampered life of comfort and ease. And this is, of course, the XX Holy Grail, a coddled life of protection and pampering. So it is no surprise that modifying female appearance is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Cosmetics, heels, bras, everything from fake hair to nails to lashes. Females have one task in life: to try and attract a meal ticket. Any and all tactics needed to accomplish this objective will be invoked to make their sale. Then they can let the roots grow out, take off all the uncomfortable heels, and blow up like a balloon because they get some old fool to sign on the dotted line. Cosmetics are also the friend of the BBW, the big beautiful woman, because while it may be hard to alter or hide bodily imperfections, such as 200 pounds of extra weight, the face, hair, nails are the one structures that can be altered through cosmetics and hair coloring to still try and catch the attention of males with dazzling shiny things and colors from the shoulders up. Never mind the 2 extra people she's packing below the nape. Cosmetics make logical sense when you understand males as disposable Kleenexes. When you understand that females have one and only one task in life: to attract the utility of males. Anything that improves or hastens this along? Well, yeah, duh. That's why CoverGirl and L'Oreal have grown into billion-dollar industries, by hiding female flaws and camouflaging female imperfections, and improving chances of females attracting male attention. Male utility, males as shovels, also explains why tall females don't go for short males, shorter than themselves. Hypergamy asserts that they move up, not only provisionally, but physically as well. Females want to move up to bigger, taller, more muscular, physically imposing males, not regress into a shorter, softer, lesser litter runt. Females want a respect-commanding T-Rex that can do for them more than they can accomplish alone. What good is a male who is less physically capable than they are themselves? Since females view males as utilities, they want a large, physically capable male to mow the lawn and move the furniture without her assistance. Males with decreased stature are deemed as limited in terms of physical capacity for labor. Also, in the eyes of the gynocentric collective, a female with a stature-challenged male indicates weakness, a deficiency on her part because she couldn't attract a bigger, stronger male and she had to settle for a small, soft beta chump. This is shameful in the eyes of the vaginisty, since regression runs counter to hypergamy. Large, tall females desire the same privilege as every other female: knights to protect and pamper them. They don't want to have to protect their smaller shovel. Females demand labor and protection, but they do not want to have to reciprocate this under any circumstances. And mingling with shorter, smaller males increases the likelihood that one day the taller female may be called upon to assist him. Female reciprocation of utility is unacceptable. That's why tall females have demands, including her date needs to be 3, 4, 5 inches taller so she can wear heels and still feel protected, like he can tame the elements for her. Funny, she can modify her height with heels, but he better not misrepresent his height in any way. Male utility also explains why females blatantly deny farting or defecating or any unpleasant, odorous bodily functions, because they depend on their aesthetic appeal to attract utility from males, and repugnant bodily odors and functionings are usually not in keeping with the sexual appeal they try to exude in order to compel male servitude. Moreover, because we have elevated females to angelic goddess status, well, of course, goddesses don't stink or fart or poop, nor do they have halitosis or boogers or belly button lint. They are omnipotent beings. Obviously, they don't have lower monkey functions. Males, on the other hand, we tolerate, even expect them to fart and burp and poop on the side of the road. They are mindless shovels, after all. Fine, whatever. Burp, fart, all you guys want. Just bring home your paycheck and then patch the roof. Got it? Male utility also explains why there is such an overzealous focus on male behavior, as it coincides with calendar years. Shovels should act in a certain fashion at a certain age. Huh? Well, quite simply, shovels should act in a certain fashion at a certain age. Come on, Johnny, you are 5 years old. Time to give up your blankie and take care of your mother and sisters. You're 7 now, Cameron. You should be opening doors for all females and carrying old ladies' groceries out to their cars for them. You are 15, Damien. Time to put away the skateboard and action figures and plan your future. How are you going to earn money to support females? Jaden, you're 18. Time to cut the hair, toss the Xbox, and be ready to die for your country. You're 25, Jensen. Time to assume your responsibilities, aka embrace your societal value as a discardable shovel. You're 35, you're 45, you're 55, you're 65, and you are male. No, you cannot do what you want. No more rap, no more clubs, no fast cars. Are you kidding? No, you can't do what you want or enjoy. You will shut up, content yourself with carrying a gynocentric society and popping ibuprofen into your double scotch like candy in order to cope with the ever-increasing demands placed upon your shoveling services. We do not want males to develop the notion of self-determined male free will. So we will program guys with certain stages of utility at certain ages. You are a tool, and the sooner you relinquish ambitions of personal enjoyment, the better off you'll be to produce and die for everyone else. Male utility also explains the court systems, through presumption of motherhood, which instill benevolence and purity of intention upon females as requisite traits of the gender at large. Courts presume females as honest and incapable of treachery. Thus, in order to justify male disposability, we need to defame and paint males as defective, dysfunctional, and in a word, evil. So when a male commits a crime, he is simply conceding his nature. When a female commits a crime, it's an anomaly with unfair, extenuating circumstances that made her do it. She was the victim of male influence somewhere along the line, and thus the female offender needs help, not punishment. Unlike the male offender who needs severe reprimand because he is criminalistic by nature. So courts enforce female entitlement and infantilization while upholding male disposability. You think a male could cut off a wife's boob and chuck it out the car window while fleeing and then be found not guilty? You think a father could kill his kids and simply walk? We slander males as inferior to justify their utility and disposability, and we elevate females to a fluffy, comfy space above the law, and sentencing differentials between the sexes mirrors our biased gender narrative. Male utility, males as shovels, also explains Western males' ubiquitous obsession with sports. I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating. Sports is the approval venue for emasculated, devalued males to vent any excess energy or creativity they have not exhausted on carrying a gynocentric society. The vaginisty sees sports as a necessary evil to direct the frustrations of males so they will continue to produce and labor come Monday morning after the weekend's games are all history. Males have a need for respite from the never-ending emasculation and devaluation of themselves and their sex. And so sports is the gyno-approved receptacle for males to vent their frustrated energies into. Males are given female approval to congregate with other emasculated males for the purposes of eating hot wings and yelling at the boob tube. Consider the alternative to female privilege. If no outlet is supplied for the repressed male energy, these shovels might reach critical mass, and they would go postal or worse yet, revolt and refuse to protect and provide for the same females that stymie them into mere armchair gladiators. So females allow the old man the mercy of sports as proof that she cares about his enjoyment, which is evidenced by the fact that she allows him recreation from a list of gyno-approved activities. And watching football or baseball or basketball is acceptable. Maybe the occasional company softball game or church basketball game. Fine, whatever, you grunting primates. Yes, go work out your testosterone and then come home and return to being a shovel. However, what's not on the gyno-approved activities list is single guy things. Clubs, motorcycles, fast cars, anything she cannot supervise is unacceptable. In fact, when you really think about it, when you really trace all societal protocols and behaviors to their source, male utility, males as shovels, really explains all, and especially female behaviors. You have all these articles touting what makes females tick, what do women want, like females are some sort of divine enigma that needs proper translation which drooling man-apes could never fathom anyway. Well, here and now, as I have in previous videos, I will reveal the mystery of the ages. The mysterious divine female wants male money, labor, and protection. I can also tell you what males want. not superficialities like sex or monetary status or superstardom. Males want the one thing they have never truly experienced: simply to be loved because they exist. Then again, males have been used and abused for so long that if a female truly expressed this sentiment, the first thing we'd consider is, what does she want? My friends, look closely and you will see that male utility renders transparent all societal memes and beliefs. And I am here to shatter this paradigm. My friends, my brothers, stand with me, live free.